Welcome to the Warlords of Draenor Basic Raid Prep series by LOS Gaming. Today in our line of sight is Shadow Lord Iskar.
The fight is broken up into two phases, the first being while Iskar is grounded, and the second is when he flies up into the air. Set up two ranged groups to spread out on the left and right of the room. Tank the boss in the center. Have the off-tank grab the Eye of Anzu to start the fight.
Fell Incineration is a green beam of light that will fixate on a player and leave a trail of fire on the ground. Kite the beam to the back or sides of the room away from other players. With your range split into two groups and spread, this will keep fire out of the middle and make it obvious who the beam is chasing.
Iskar will throw a Fell Chakram that will ricochet between three players. The Chakram will always hit the range first, then bounce to the melee, and finally hit the tank before heading back to the boss. The targeted range player will run to the designated mark on their side of the room.
Targeted melee always run to the mark behind the boss. If a player in the right range group gets targeted, the tank will run to the left mark. But if a player in the left range group gets targeted, the tank will run to the right. Melee, be aware when the Chakram returns to the boss that you aren't standing in the way.
Phantasmal Winds will attempt to push random raid members off the balcony. Quickly toss the Eye of Anzu to players affected by the winds and free them of the debuff.
Phase 2 is when Iskar takes flight. The two range groups can collapse into a loose group in the center. While in the air, he will do a focused blast on the person holding the eye. The damage is split between all players hit. Be sure to be grouped to share the damage.
Adds will spawn and will be tanked in the center. Corrupted Priests of Tarok will debuff players with bombs. A healer holding the eye will be able to dispel the Fell Bomb, which will also dispel all of the Phantasmal Fell Bombs.
During the second air phase, a Shadowfell Warden will join the Priest. Wardens will begin to channel Fell Conduit. You can only interrupt them if you are holding the Eye of Anzu. Healers will have the eye to dispel the bombs, but luckily they can interrupt also. Once the first healer interrupts the cast, have them pass it to another healer, so they are able to dispel and interrupt the next cast of the Warden. Have your DPS focus on killing the Warden first to help ease the job of the healers.
A Fell Raven will join the Priest and the Warden for the third and final air phase. Ravens will place Phantasmal Corruption on their tank. Have the Raven tank hold the eye during this phase so they never get the debuff. The tank will need to interrupt the Wardens while they're holding the eye.
Save Bloodlust until this third air phase and burn the Fell Raven down first. If the bomb debuff goes off before the Raven dies, you can either toss the eye to a healer for a quick dispel, or just have players with bombs move out of the group. Once it's dead, have your tank then pass the eye to a healer for dispels and interrupts. Kill the Warden, and lastly finish off the Priest.
The transition from the third air phase back to the ground phase can be the trickiest. Just stay focused on cleaning up the remaining adds and Iskar will fall. This has been Tovo.
And Tatva, with 2-minute tips by Line of Sight Gaming. Please like and subscribe and check out our other videos by clicking on any of these links.